Good evening, sports fans. Welcome into 409 Sports. We have a special guest with us today. I'm looking forward to talking to former Lamar head basketball coach Alvin Brooks. Coach, I want to thank you for joining me today and really look forward to speaking with you. How you feeling today so far?
Man, I'm feeling fantastic, Brandon, believe it or not. Yeah. Circumstances are different from the last time you and I talked, but I want to thank you first for having me and the station. You got Nick here, Canzelis, one of my favorite guys, and you guys have always been good. And Beaumont Media has always been good to me in the community. So I was looking forward to the opportunity to talk to you and kind of speak to the community through you guys, and kind of my farewell and appreciation for my time here, and thank everybody for everything that they've done for myself and the program while I've been here.
Yeah, and speaking of the program, it's not just what the program has done for you, but what you have done for the program in general. Some of the things we were talking about before the cameras came on is some of the facilities that you've helped upgrade, and of course the winning that you brought to the program. But that goes all the way back to when you were playing here back in the day, though,
right. So you mentioned earlier you didn't know I played here at Lamar, when we first talked off the air. So I came here in the fall of '79. And so I played here at Lamar and went to the Sweet 16 my junior year, played for Billy Tubbs, a Lamar legend and former player and coach here like myself. And then he left and went to Oklahoma. Then my senior year, played for Pat Foster, who was the guy that got me into coaching. I played for him my senior year. We went to the second round of the NCAA tournament in top 25 for a little while. And then shortly thereafter, I was a GA for 1 year, and I started my college coaching career here. Back that time, and so
did you know that coaching was where you wanted to go, or how did that come about?
I did actually. I'm from Houston, from the inner city of Houston. So my high school coach, who was a mentor of mine, Coach Jackie Carr, he's a legend here in the state of Texas, and he's in the Hall of Fame. And so he ended up getting a job for me in the summer in the inner city of Houston at a very difficult, tough park to be at. And so I was supervisor there, and I got an opportunity to serve a lot of the youth in that community, serving them lunch and giving them games and those kind of things. And I thought, man, this is pretty cool. I'm pouring into someone that needs some assistance, some help, and can inspire. And then when I got a chance to come to Lamar and I started coaching with Coach Foster as a GA, then I assisted them in recruiting, and I saw an opportunity to impact. And actually, believe it or not, I did not want to coach college basketball. I wanted to coach high school basketball. I wanted to go back home.
Is there a reason why did high school instead of college?
Well, at the time, my mentor and my advisor, the guy that I admired, was Jackie Carr, my high school coach. And so he made a huge impact in the community in Houston, and most of the guys I knew were great high school coaches. And so I just thought that was the route for me to go. Now, Pat Foster, who is a legend in his own right here at Lamar, banners hanging from the rafters, convinced me that I would have an opportunity to be a good college coach. I just spoke with him. Coach Foster's 86. He called me, recently, and we talked a little bit about our time here and kind of how things are in the coaching profession. And I reminded him I'm a college coach 40 plus years now, and my son is associate head coach at Kentucky, and all of that came about when I started here. And so I decided to go in college coaching just because I thought I could have an impact on young men and get them to have an opportunity to have a great college career, get a college degree. If they were good enough to play professional basketball, they could do so. And so that all started right here. And so I started back here in '82. I graduated in '81, and then I started coaching in '82. And then coached here at Lamar University, went to University of Houston in April of '86, and then came back to Lamar University 35 years later, April of 2021. So, that's a God thing, that just doesn't happen. And so prior to me coming to Lamar as a head coach in April of 2021, I was coaching in the Final Four alongside Kelvin Sampson, who's a Hall of Fame coach at University of Houston, and we played against in the semifinals in Indianapolis, Baylor University, who was also assisted by my son, Alvin Brooks III. And so I coached against my son, who they eventually beat us and went on to win a national championship.
Wow.
And so I was talking to Scott Drew, and when he called after things happened here, just to kind of remind me of kind of the purpose and there's better things ahead, and so we talked about those times. So coaching in that Final Four just gives you an opportunity to know how special the game can be, how special the profession can be, the things it can do for you. And then so I went from my hometown school, the University of Houston, alongside Coach Sampson, coaching against my son in the Final Four, to being appointed the head coach here at Lamar University in April of 2021, 35 years later from almost the date that I left Lamar in April of '86. So, that's not anything that I could actually create for myself. That's just kind of a God thing. So the previous administration that hired me, the task was, and the mission was, hey, we want you to help rebrand and rebuild the program. Now, I took over for a guy, Tick Price, who I thought was an excellent basketball coach, good man. They fell on some hard times. They won 10 games that year, and I came in during COVID, and so couldn't recruit that year. So I walked around the arena, and I thought, man, you know what, we kind of got to get out of the 80s, that was my statement, and by that I mean we needed more player development facilities. So I solicited the support and donation from some Lamar donors, or quite a few of them, and then redid our office area, created a player lounge, created a refueling station for our players, and raised money and bought a refrigerator to put in the locker room and start stocking it with things.
Coach, for people that don't, they're not familiar with the college experience and all, especially on the athletic side of it. They might assume that a lot of those things just come with it.
Right.
You got your food and your hydration bar and all that stuff, but things that you add like that are going to help the overall experience, not just for the team, but for everything that they're doing, they're trying to win.
So you played collegiate athletics. So what it does is it helps develop your players, player development, and then it helps attract new talent. So great gentleman here in Lamar, great donor, built a film room for us. We say we needed a film room. So the film room is actually for men's and women's basketball. So it serves both purposes. And there's a great couple that donated money and built us a state-of-the-art weight room in the arena. So we had that, and so that was for men's and women's basketball. And then the current administration then added the Nature's Arena gift, and then added the scoreboard and the court, and the court was much needed because we had a lot of leg injuries my first couple of years as a result of the older court, and so that was much.
How was that?
I don't know. It was when I was at University of Houston, Hofheinz Pavilion, the old Hofheinz Pavilion. That was Coach Sampson's first year there when I was with him, and prior to that, we just had a number of guys that had leg injuries because of the floor being not very soft and hard, and so those kind of things, and so we had a little bit of that here, and we got past that. And then when the current administration put some money into it and started redoing some things there, and made it easier for us to recruit and those kind of things, and so that was helpful. So the things that we did when I first got here in terms of building the player development facilities, and then we started attracting players and start getting a little bit better talent, and then I thought academically our staff did a great job. Our staff, the men's basketball staff, of assisting with our academic support because we needed that. We didn't have a lot of support in that area, so we went from a 2.0 GPA to a 2.8, from a 2.0 to a 2.8, and every guy that we've recruited that stayed in the program has graduated except for one, and so we'll have 4 graduates this coming spring. So we did it the right way in that regard. So I feel very good and confident about laying the foundation for building a better brand for Lamar basketball, along with the facilities improvement, along with the culture being instilled, that how important it is to still get a Lamar degree, how we carry ourselves in the community. Reconnecting with the community was also one of the things that the previous administration talked about, one of the things we want you to do. And so I think we've done that. And then from a competitive standpoint, we didn't finish this year well, but I thought we created a standard of winning, and we had, over the last couple of years, the most successful stretch they've had here in decades. And by that I mean last year this time, 2025, March of 25, we were playing for Southland Conference Tournament Championship at McNeese on their home court on ESPN national TV.
I never did like that part about
No,
that.
that was tough, but you know, it was great seeing a sea of red in the building.
Yeah.
Supporting, so the excitement was there.
Right.
And so, and then the year before that, 2024, we went to semifinals, won 19 games,
right.
and played McNeese again. And then so those 2 years combined was the best back-to-back semifinal appearance by Lamar in 40 years. The last time that happened was 40 years ago. We finished as a 2 seed last year. Most conference wins in program history last year. Only the second time 2 seed has been had, a second conference standing was last year, and then 2025 and 2008.
Yeah.
And so, you know, we did a lot of good things. You know, it was the third 20-win season since '87. You know, so the success we had, I thought, was good. We created opportunities where we were able to get 2 CBS sports appearances on national TV this past season because of the success of the last 2 years. So,
Coach, you know, one of the things we were talking about before we got on camera was how NIL has changed everything. Of course, you said earlier that players that stayed in the program, you know, everybody but one person graduated, and you go from 2.0 to a 2.8 GPA. How has the NIL and the, I guess, the one and done type mentality now changed the whole landscape?
Man, it's completely changed it, because one of the things that I've always hung my hat on as a coach, as a college coach, was evaluating good talent and then developing good talent. So we did that. We evaluated good talent. We brought it in, and then in the midst of developing it, we lost a lot of guys. I mean, we had quite a few guys leave, and so our leading scorer, you know, departed every year, and from usually from the portal. You know, last year we had AJ Marmaleos was our leading scorer and our best guard, and he was all league. And then, you know, the portal took him away from us, you know, just the amount of money that he was able to make leaving before that. Terry Anderson was the year before that, that was on the 19-win semifinal team that left for High Point for, you know, money. The year before that, it was Nate Calmise that left, and Yuto Yamanuchi left for the portal for money. So we just kept going, and, you know, we didn't have the 24 team and the 25 team. You know, we put that team together with no NIL.
Yeah.
And so we just through old-fashioned hard work and just, you know, developed some good chemistry and had a lot of success the last 2 years. So and as a result, ended up with a 3-year extension that started in September.
Yeah.
Wasn't able to complete it, but you know, I think the administration has the right to choose whoever they would like to lead the program, and someone that embodies or their vision and philosophy, and that of the vision and philosophy of their donors. And so I think that's just part of it, you know.
Yeah.
I knew, Brandon, before I came here, I knew as a veteran college coach and a guy that's been a part of rebuilding programs for years, I knew that it was going to be one of the greatest rebuilds I've ever been a part of. It's going to be a monumental task, and I knew that. So I understood that because I understood the lack of success that many of the Lamar men's head basketball coaches had prior to me coming here. So I didn't take that as a negative. I just understood, as a former player and a former coach here and a guy that followed the program, and I've always considered the 409 community as home away from home. So I was kind of intimately familiar with, you know, what the struggles were. And so I knew coming in that, man, it was not a head coach that had walked away from here since '88. You know, that had not done well. So, you know, some of them had pockets of success like we did. But I said, you know, to change it as an alum and as a guy that's in the profession, I said one of the things we have to do is we have to first change the perception of Lamar. You know, so, you know, as a result, we had some summer camps that went over really, really well, prospect camps. Then I thought we had to change, get up to speed with the terms of player development, the things that we needed, like the film room, the weight room, the player lounge, and those kind of things. So we did all those things. And then academically, we needed to make sure we were putting out good student athletes, and guys come here, and nobody talks about education much anymore, but I think that's still important to me.
Right.
Basketball is over with. Sooner they know it, the ball stops bouncing, and you're a former athlete. What you're doing is So you need to kind of prepare yourself for life after athletics, and so I'm still big on that, and so that was one of the things that we did.
Yeah, Coach, and there's a lot of things that I still wanted to get into, especially with the NIL thing, because like you said, back when I was playing ball, I remember, you staying in the dorms, we get a stipend check for $125 for groceries, and that's when you're working out, 6 hours a day, that $125 isn't going very far. So when you have a guy who's coming in and now they're getting this kind of money, and they're not only able to buy groceries, they're able to provide in some form or fashion for their family and help back home. When we signed with a school, you were expected to be there for 4 or 5 years,
Right.
And now when you have this money coming in and you're able to go to the next spot, does it take away from the loyalty factor and you wanting to stay and provide for the school that gave you an opportunity, or how is that going to affect even the coaching and how you go about recruiting players in general?
That's a great question. That loyalty really doesn't exist in the game as it once did. That and I'm an old school guy. That has changed a lot. Yeah. Guys will come here and with the intention, sometimes if you're not careful, don't do your due diligence of leaving after 1 year. Yeah. And so sometimes they want to stay, but to be transparent, the rules, the NCAA rules, the way they are structured right now, they allow NIL agents, which couldn't be anyone because you don't have to be registered, don't have to be certified, just anyone that wants to be an NIL. So they allow them to contact your players during the course of the season, either through social media. So that was something that we dealt with that a lot of schools deal with when someone recruiting you guys during the course of the year. So we weren't the only ones having to deal with that. For us it was kind of challenging because we at a level where they started poaching us on a regular basis, and so we started becoming the school that, okay, who's the next guy they got coming up, that can play at a higher level. And so, had a couple of guys that were playing good early in the year, and next thing you know, they being hit pretty hard. Yeah. And so that's a bit distracting for the team, but it's something that you have to learn how to deal with nowadays. That's just part of the game.
That's still new to me. I'm still learning just like everybody else.
Yeah. So I think you have to have a good NIL package, which I think Lamar will have now for the guy that's succeeding me. And I think that I knew at some point I was hoping that would come. I didn't get a chance to recruit to that, but I feel good about the opportunity that position I put us in terms of laying the groundwork and the foundation. So when they can lift there, right there in the building, they can go to the film room, and they got a player lounge, and there's some things there in place, that they have, and the perception of the program. I'm a Houston, Texas native, right down the road, and so I'm in the business, and my son is in the business. So the perception of our program is a lot better than it was, and so it's we left it better than we found it. So there's no one that would like to see Lamar basketball go to the NCAA tournament more than me. I was a part of 3 of them as a player and a coach, 2 as a player and 1 as a coach, and so it's only 6 banners hanging up there. So I was a part of 3 of those. So I kept looking up at that banner, and I said, man, we're gonna put a banner up here, and that was my goal for coming back. That was the reason why I came back, to build it like that. And then last year, 2025 March, man, we came within a few minutes and a few plays from hanging a banner in 2025. And then I thought in 2024, we're one game away from playing for the whole thing and putting the banner up. So we were that close.
Yeah.
We were that close, and so that period tells you that we're on track. You know, so this year doesn't define who we are or who we were. That's just a small little blip. And so now, when you build a program, which we did, not just a team, then you have an opportunity to bounce back from a bad stretch. And so we had a tough 4-week stretch there at the end, and you know, didn't end well for us. And you know, that's kind of where we are right now.
Right.
And
well, Coach, what about you know, moving forward? I'm not asking you to break any news or anything, you know, but have you been you know, making plans for future things you've already been working on?
You know, I've had to make a quick adjustment. It's just only been a week, man. I had no clue. You know, I was preparing to put together a team to try to win the league next year, and I thought, man, we're finally gonna have some NIL money to work with. And
so you didn't get a chance to divulge in all of that, then, like
no, they did support us as best they could, you know. So I can't say they didn't give us any support at all. They, you know, I did get some support, but in terms of having the opportunity to recruit to going into the season and recruit to like a spring or fall recruiting with that type, no, we didn't have that. And it's really, you have to do it in the spring, you know, and because everybody goes into the portal. Portals open up April 7th now. It's going to be 15 days instead of 30 days. And so I think that I was preparing to put together that group because it's, you know, your team looks totally different based on what kind of NIL package you have. And so, you know, I was planning on doing that. So I hadn't even thought about looking for job or what else I'm gonna do or anything like that. So that's kind of fairly fresh and new for me. And so, but I'll figure it out. You know, I mean, I'm not done coaching, that's for sure. You know, I've got plenty of gas in the tank. You know, and so it's what I love to do. I've got tons of energy. You know, my guys will tell you, you know, how practice was every day, and I'm there early and leave late, and so that doesn't change. And I've always enjoyed investing in others. You know, I always had amounts on my desk that said our goal is to help you reach yours, and I've had that on my desk for 30-some years, and that doesn't change. And I would often tell them that doesn't mean our goal is to help you reach yours only if I like you, only if you're at Lamar, only if I'm your head. I mean, that's just period. That's a period in it. So, you know, I've just done that for years and years and years. I started off doing it here back in the 80s, and, you know, I'll, you know, continue doing it somewhere else now, you know, since I don't have the opportunity to finish here. So, you know, I wish everyone here nothing but the best. And, you know, it's been a absolute blessing to be here, honestly, because I've always considered this community home away from home. I've had a lot of success here, built a lot of friendships here, and it will always be that for me. So the thing that I will miss the absolute most is the people. You know, I came here on my recruiting visit in '79. And really embraced the place and really liked the people, and we had some success, obviously. And then, you know, got my degree here, and then I started coaching here. And then, you know, even though I left, I always stayed in touch. And so, I'll continue to stay in touch with the people. And you know, the area is always going to be special to me. So, I always going to wish it nothing but the best.
That was going to be my next question, Coach. You know, you played here, you coached here, you gave your all to this community. Anything that you wanted to say to the community?
Oh, just, man, I love you. Man, gonna miss you. But always gonna be a phone call away, and I'll remain close friends with quite a few people here. And you know, life goes on. You know, things happen. You know, that's part of it. It's not the end of the world. You know. You know, we'll wish y'all. You know, still my alma mater. You know, that's never gonna change. You know, I wish them the best, and so. You know, I have a lot left to give, to continue to give, and you know, God blessed me to do same. I'll continue to do that, you know. So that's kind of what I'm looking forward to. So nothing else to say but that, you know. And so I got an opportunity, even though we didn't complete it. I got an opportunity to get a glimpse of, kind of as I kept telling our players and our coaches, man, what it can be like here when you connect with the community, when you start winning, and you got to continue it though. So we had that little stretch the last couple of years where we every year we got better, except for this year, every year. And so didn't do it this year, but as I told them, we ran out of time, man. It didn't work because we ran out of time. I told my players, except, man, don't ever feel like you're a failure. That's one of the steps to the ladder of success is failure sometimes, you know, and it's not fatal. It's just temporary, and it just happens, and then you got to figure out what to do next and what you did wrong and keep going, man.
Coach until the end, right there, Coach. I
Yeah.
want to tell you, I really appreciate it because I've known you since I've been here.
Yeah.
And it's been a pleasure covering you. I've loved watching you guys. I felt like I was part of the team, only without all the athletic ability.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah. Well, we I appreciate you guys. You guys have been fantastic, man. You did a great job of covering us, and I loved you guys covering us. It's been a fun time, you know, very memorable for me, very memorable, and wish we could have done it longer, but such is life. So,
right.
Yeah.
Well, Coach, we'll be rooting for you, of course, moving forward. And if you find out where you want to go next, and you want to come back and let us know, we'll be here for that as well.
We'll do it. I'll let you know. All right, Brandon.
Sounds good. We appreciate you, Coach.
Thank you, man.
Thank you so
appreciate
much.
it. All right.